is a wonderful to meet you guys.
It looks like we're a split screen, but we're actually in the same room.
Wonderful. All righty. So, for those who haven't seen or heard anything about your guys' wonderful project, can you guys take us through a little bit about the storyline and things like that?
Yes. It's a story about a mosquito who faints at the sight of blood.
And her name is Citronella.
Yeah, so she can't get a break. And it's a story of Citronella trying to get up the nerve to go to therapy for the first time. Group therapy led by a pill bug named Dr. Pill. And Dr. Phil plays Dr. Pill, and Megan Trainor plays Citronella, and Sterling K. Brown plays a stick bug who's depressed. Why?
Well, he feels like no one sees him. People just look right past him. And there's just a whole group of other bugs that have their own mental health problems.
Jay Leno plays a fly who is OCD, can't stop washing his hands. You know how they do that? You don't know what these hands have been. Like, I think we do.
And a praying mantis who doesn't pray because she thinks she is God. People should be praying to her.
Yeah, so there's all sorts of mental problems on display. And the point of the film is it's okay. It's better if you talk about it.
Yeah.
Maybe you should talk to someone.
Yeah. Everyone struggles with something and there's no shame in asking for help.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I know that the film, you guys did the short film version of it, and you guys are looking to get it made into a feature film. Where are you guys in the process of that?
Well, I was going to ask you if we could borrow $10 million from you.
Oh, I saw that trailer, and I really loved it. If I had $10 million, it would be all yours.
Thank you. Yeah, we're in the process of making it into a feature film, and we might have a nibble, but we don't want to talk about it because we'll jinx it. Right?
Well, it's a process. So we're exploring a couple different options right now, and we'll get there.
Yeah, and what's really fun is the feature version is a much bigger story because you can't have 2 hours of just 6 bugs sitting in a circle talking. That was kind of just a teaser. Really, the story is big and kind of funny. What the lengths that Citronella goes to not go to therapy.
Yeah,
Got it. Awesome. And then, I was watching the little clips of it, and something that I noticed was the wonderful use of those vibrant colors. And, they do say, it is scientifically proven that colors can change our emotions and they can psychologically affect us. Did you guys think about that? Was there any reasoning behind any of the colors you guys used for any of the characters or anything like that?
That's interesting. I don't think we thought of that.
But we'll take credit for that.
Yeah. Now, our director, we had a great director,
Jason
Reisig, and he had the vision for what it was going to look like visually. And it just, Yeah,
he had this idea of, if you ever see real micro photography of bugs, usually the background is washed out because it's their point of view, and you don't see a picnic table or a tree in the background. When you're down at their level, you tend to just see the colors behind them. And that was his idea, that would be a fun way to make it look unlike any other bug movie. And
we had it all happening kind of at sunset time. So through the short, the color, the light is changing, and it just brought out some beautiful, rich colors and hues and stuff. It was, we're really happy with it.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely beautiful. What have been the biggest challenges you guys have faced with trying to get this project done?
Tolerating my coworker. You answer that.
Well, biggest challenges, most everybody who sees the film loves it. And everybody that we talk to, they're like, yes, we absolutely need more stuff out there to encourage people to talk about their problems and get therapy if you need it and that kind of stuff.
I would say how long it took, because if you could shoot a movie right now with your friends, you could actually make a movie with your iPhone in a week or two. This took 2 years because animation is really
And we had the pandemic in the middle of it too,
Yeah.
so that kind of slowed things down. But yeah, the time it takes to make an animated film is definitely a challenge. And then just getting it to in front of the right people who can actually help move it forward and take it to the masses.
Yeah. And one more thing I could think of is when we started making it, it was so fun doing the recording sessions with, say, Jay Leno and Sterling K. Brown. And it's right when the pandemic hit. So we never were actually in the same room with Dr. Phil or Megan Trainor.
We did it via Zoom.
Did it via Zoom, which is fun. Yeah, I mean, it's not as fun, you know, but
you want to be in the room with Dr. Phil, you know? Yeah. Awesome. So what key takeaways would you like to impart upon your viewers?
Don't be in denial. Accept that something, you know, if you had a broken leg,
you'd go to the doctor.
You go to the doctor, you know,
and you'd wear a cast.
You know, if you sit next to people, they'll tell you all about their liver problem or something. But people tend to be embarrassed or ashamed of something not working up here. And, you know, I've benefited enormously from therapy. And I would say you have.
I'm going today.
Yeah. And so that's what I would love to impart is there is no shame in having something not working upstairs and talk about it.
I mean, I feel like, you know, we're all human and life is long. And at some point in your life, you are probably going to have an issue with something, whether it's your job, you're too stressed out, you're having trouble in your relationship, your kids, you know, whatever it is, we all struggle with something at some point in our life, and it's okay because we're human. And if you talk about it and connect with other people, then you realize, oh, I'm not alone. Other people deal with this and I can figure this out.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So what has been your favorite part about this whole experience?
Seeing how people laugh every time at a mosquito who faints at the sight of blood. It's just so fun seeing the laugh because everyone hates mosquitoes. And when you say that to them, you see it's the first time they even considered having empathy for these little bloodsuckers, you know? And so that's my personal favorite. As a comedy writer, that's my favorite.
I would say we had this vision in our heads of what we wanted this to look like, and then actually seeing it happen. And I remember when we were in post-production and I saw it up on a big screen for the first time, I cried. I was like, oh my gosh, we did it.
It's so pretty. It's just so pretty, really.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. So like, how was it working with all these, you know, big names like Dr. Phil, Megan Trainor? I know you guys said you weren't quite in the room, but how does it feel to know that these people wanted to do your guys' project?
That was a really nice thing because people always say, how did you get that cast? Like, you know, they would each get $1 million for being in a movie. They all did it for scale, basically, almost nothing. Because
of the topic.
They believe in it, they care about it, and they want to be associated with the feature film because then they'll get paid. But that was very gratifying. I remember Dr. Phil saying that his grandchildren are tickled pink that he's going to be in an animated film, and he can't wait to show them. And Megan Trainor was a blast.
She was great.
Jay Leno had us laughing the whole time. Tom Green was really good. Like he plays the grasshopper who's addicted to coffee. He ad-libbed a lot and was so fun. And Sterling K. Brown plays such a serious guy on This Is Us, but he's funny and very, he's jacked. I don't know if you know that. He walks in the room and it's like an NFL player has walked in and a smile. And it was so fun making him laugh, you know, because he's like a slow burn. He decides if it's funny or not, and then he just cracks up. So it was a blast, honestly.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's great. So what would you like to see from the mental health industry in the next 5 to 10 years?
Wow. I'd like to see her get more help.
I think it's starting to happen with the
stigma.
the online. There's different places like Talkspace and Cerebral and different places where you can sign up online to get just talk therapy or meds or whatever you need. And so I think that it's starting to happen where mental health is becoming a little bit more accessible to people. And I would just like to see that continue, just the accessibility of it, that if you need help, you just go on your computer and find it, and then you can get it and not have to go through the process of calling 5 therapists. Are they on my insurance? Oh my God, will they call me back? That's tough.
Yeah, many people have told us about that difficulty, and we've experienced it because we just moved from LA to Austin and had to find new therapists here. And it's a process that's more difficult than finding a dentist, right? So it should be quicker and easier. I'd like to see that happen.
Awesome. Yeah. And then I know you guys starred in it as well. You guys had your own little characters. Which side of the production did you enjoy? Do you like the pre-production stuff, or were you just really enjoying that voiceover stuff? Or do you expect to do more voiceover stuff in the future?
Yeah, because we got to do some voiceover. That was fun.
Yeah. I liked all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I really enjoyed all of it. It was definitely fun playing a part in it.
A really fun moment for me was halfway through. When you make a movie, I've learned at some point you see a rough cut of it, a rough version of it, and we were a little horrified, like it wasn't working, and we sort of went back to the very core concept. And I remember talking to the director about it and the head of the studio and saying, this is a story about a girl who is scared. That's what the story's about. So to really focus on her hiding behind that wine glass, deciding, that's the whole movie. She's afraid to go to therapy. Yeah. Is she going to go or not go? It's got to be all about that, because the mistake we made was we were thinking, oh, this bug's funny. Wait till they hear that line. Funny, 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 funny. And we watched it and it was like, oh my God,
this is terrible.
It's terrible. Who cares? But when you ground it from the perspective of the person hiding behind the pillar, eavesdropping on that, then it becomes so much more interesting, because you're hoping she sees that everybody has something, and it's not that embarrassing. Your problem is probably not going to be the most embarrassing one in the room.
And she was also seeing that the other characters were supportive of each other.
Yeah. And that's what, at the end of the film, she's very envious of them, what they had, and she realizes it just in the nick of time,
That's wonderful. And Michele, being a woman in film, there's sometimes these stereotypes or these generalizations, but how has your time been as a woman in film?
It's been great. It's been fun. It's been, super fun to just be completely involved in the creative process and thinking about what we want to say and the message that we want to get out. And it feels really good to pull from my own experience of, mental health stuff. I've struggled with depression and anxiety and all of that, and to kind of pour that into the project and then see how it can help people. That's just been the best thing for me.
That's amazing. So, as an aspiring filmmaker and actress myself, I'm always looking for advice, So what advice do you guys have for people who would pretty much love to be doing exactly what you guys are doing?
Just do it.
Just do it. We took a big chance and did it.
We didn't know what we were doing.
But I want to tell you a quick, because you said you're an aspiring actress as well, a quick story. A young actress named Emily Goglia is plays the praying mantis, and we allowed her to audition for Citronella. We were having a lot of actresses audition for Citronella, and they were all screwed because Meghan Trainor was going to get it, right? But Emily sent in 2 tapes, she did citronella, and she said, you didn't ask me, but I think the praying mantis is amusing. And this is how I would do it. And we were blown away.
Yeah, we
It
were
was
like, wow, that's really,
really funny, like big attitude,
Yeah.
kind of like Moira, in Schitt's Creek.
yeah.
And we were like, that's our girl. She's the only one. You look at the poster, it's like star, 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 who? And it's because she sent in 2 auditions.
She took the initiative.
Took the initiative, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I would also say, just because you don't know what you're doing, don't let that stop you. Like, you can figure it out. The internet, you can Google anything, you can talk to people. It's like, just if you feel drawn to it, just start moving a little bit at a time and you can totally do it.
Mhm.
Wonderful. So obviously the whole thing is about mental health. How has this project affected you guys? I'm sure there's been ups and downs, and it's been a roller coaster in this project. And how has it affected you guys?
It's been a lesson in patience.
Yes. I come from a world of immediate gratification, and making an animated film is the exact opposite of that. So it's been a lesson in patience and
Perseverance, and you're going to hit roadblocks, you're going to hit obstacles, and you just keep going. You figure out solutions, you problem solve, and look, you're going to have days where you're like, why are we doing this? This is hard. I don't like it. But then you kind of recalibrate, you let yourself feel that, and then you recalibrate and be like, no, this is why we're doing it, and we're just going to keep moving forward.
yeah, I think we just did what we could do on a day-to-day basis, because it's so slow. I complained about it going slowly, but there was an upside to that, which is like when I said we realized it was terrible and we needed to regroup, there was time.
And time's going to pass whether you're doing anything or not. So you may as well be trying to move a project that you really believe in and care about forward.
Mhm.
So.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah. All right. So my last question is, if you could directly reach out and talk to these people who have mental health, what would you like to tell them?
I'd like to tell them it happens to the best of us, and your story will be so much richer if there's a chapter where you realized you needed help and got the help.
And I would say, don't give up, that there really is beauty in the struggle. If you think about a butterfly, I love butterflies. Okay. So it's when they're trying to get out of that cocoon, it's hard and they're struggling.
And if you help them.
And if you help them, if you peel the cocoon away, they're going to be screwed. They're not going to have the strength to stretch their wings and fly away. They have to go through the struggle to bust out of it on their own,
To be able to fly.
And it's beautiful. And just hang in there, because you matter more than you know, and your story matters more than you know. So
That's an amazing message. And, I love what you guys are doing. I love the project. I love the idea. I love how you guys have taken a serious topic and have been able to turn it into something that people can smile about and laugh. But then I feel like we're able to take those things, those jokes and those messages, and we're able to internalize them, and we're able to just think about them. And it's a great way to get through to people, because it kind of helps put their defenses down. Yes. And so I love what you guys are doing. And thank you so much for talking to me.
We just need you to own a studio and we're set.
I will get right on that for you guys. I'll let you know. Maybe a week or two, might take me a little bit, but I'll definitely get on that for you.
Okay, good. Well, thank you for interviewing us. You were great. This is really fun.